listening to the Positive Professional Podcast with your host, me, Tracy Yvonne. This podcast is a weekly conversation about all things mental health, self-care, and wellness. And there'll be sprinkles of positivity, mindfulness, and guided meditations. Welcome back to Season 5, Episode 26. Today I'm going to be diving into a topic that affects many of us, yet is often misunderstood and under-discussed, and that's recovery from narcissistic abuse and gaslighting. And today's focus will be on how self-compassion can serve as a powerful tool on a road to healing. Whether you're a survivor of narcissistic abuse, someone who's currently navigating these turbulent waters, or simply curious about how the topic can support someone else, this episode is for you. I'm going to break down what narcissistic abuse and gaslighting are, why they're so damaging, and most importantly, how self-compassion can be a transformative force in your recovery journey. Now, if you are a supporter of this podcast, you know that I've discussed these topics before, narcissism and gaslighting. So let's start by reviewing what these topics mean. Narcissistic abuse is a form of emotional abuse perpetrated by someone with narcissistic tendencies or full-blown narcissistic personality disorder. It's characterized by patterns of manipulation, control, and emotional exploitation. The abuser often prioritizes their needs above everyone else and lacks empathy for the feelings and needs of others. Gaslighting, on the other hand, is a specific and particularly insidious form of emotional manipulation. It involves distorting or denying reality to make the victim doubt their own perceptions, memories, and even sanity. It's not just a casual lie or misunderstanding. It's a calculated tactic to destabilize the victim's sense of self and reality. Imagine being told repeatedly that your feelings are wrong, that your experiences aren't valid, or that you're just too sensitive or crazy. Over time, this can erode your confidence and sense of self-worth, leaving you feeling confused, isolated, and powerless. Understanding these dynamics is the first step towards healing. It's important to recognize that the effects of narcissistic abuse and gaslighting can be profound and long-lasting. Survivors often experience anxiety, depression, and a deep sense of shame and unworthiness. These wounds can be difficult to heal, but there is hope. Self-compassion can be a lifeline. So what exactly is self-compassion? And how does that play a role in the recovery from such damaging experiences? Self-compassion is defined by psychologist Dr. Kristen Neff and involves three components: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. Self-kindness means treating yourself with the same care and understanding that you would offer to a good friend. It's about being gentle with yourself, especially in moments of pain or failure, rather than harshly criticizing or judging yourself. Common humanity is the recognition that suffering and the imperfection are part of the shared human experience. It's understanding that you're not alone in your struggles. Others have faced similar challenges and have found ways to heal. And finally, mindfulness. And this involves being present with your emotions, acknowledging them without becoming overwhelmed or suppressing them. It's about allowing yourself to feel what you feel without getting lost in these emotions or identifying them too closely. When you practice self-compassion, you begin to reframe your relationship with yourself. Instead of seeing yourself through the distorted lens of your abuser, you start to recognize your own inherent worth and value. And this shift is crucial for healing because narcissistic abuse and gaslighting often strip away your sense of self-worth, making it difficult to trust yourself or believe in your own goodness. Self-compassion helps to rebuild that trust. It allows you to acknowledge the pain you've endured without letting it define you. It empowers you to take control of your narrative, to understand that what happened to you was not your fault, and to begin the process of healing. Now let's talk about how you can start cultivating self-compassion in your daily life. And this isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process, but every step you take brings you closer to healing. One of the first steps is to practice self-kindness in your self-talk. Pay attention to the ways you speak to yourself, especially in difficult moments. Are you harsh and critical, or do you offer yourself understanding and encouragement? When you notice negative self-talk, try to reframe it. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I'm so stupid for letting this happen," you can reframe it to, "I did the best that I could with the information and resources I had at the time." And I'm going to share more in the next segment. Another powerful tool is journaling. Writing about your experience can help you process your emotions and gain clarity. You might start writing a letter to yourself, offering compassion for pain you endured. You can also keep a self-compassion journal where you regularly note the moments when you practice self-kindness or acknowledge your shared humanity with others. Mindfulness meditations is another practice that can help you cultivate self-compassion. By spending just a few minutes each day in a quiet reflection, you can become more aware of your thoughts and feelings without judgment. There are guided meditations available even on this podcast, and all you have to do is search in the previous seasons. It's also important to set boundaries and prioritize self-care. This means distancing yourself from people who continue to harm you, seeking out supportive relationships, and engaging activities that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. Remember, self-compassion isn't just about how you talk to yourself. It's also about how you treat yourself in all aspects of your life. To bring these concepts to life, I'm going to share some real-life examples of how self-compassion could help survivors of narcissistic abuse and gaslighting. So let's talk about Survivor 1, and we'll call her MT. MT found that practicing self-compassion helped her reclaim her identity after years of narcissistic abuse. MT started by acknowledging her pain without judgment, allowing herself to feel and express her emotions. She began to challenge the negative beliefs instilled in her by her abuser, replacing them with affirmations of her worth and value. Over time, MT's self-esteem grew, and she found the courage to leave the toxic relationship and rebuild her life. Now, another story comes from someone that we'll call DF. DF struggled with these intense feelings of shame and self-doubt after years of gaslighting. Through therapy and self-compassion practices, DF learned to separate his abuser's words from his own self-perception. He started journaling regularly, using it as a tool to reinforce his progress and celebrate small victories. Today, DF describes self-compassion as the foundation of his recovery, a practice that continues to support him in his journey. These stories remind us that healing is possible, even after the deepest wounds. Self-compassion is not a quick fix, but it's a powerful and sustainable approach to recovery. It's about learning to love and accept yourself, flaws and all, and recognizing that you are worthy of love, respect, and kindness. As I wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with a few final thoughts. Recovery from narcissistic abuse and gaslighting is a challenging journey, but it's not the one that you have to walk alone. Embracing self-compassion, you can begin to heal the wounds left by these toxic experiences and rediscover your true self. Remember, self-compassion is not about excusing the behavior of others or denying your pain. It's about offering yourself the kindness and understanding you deserve. It's about recognizing that your experiences are valid, your feelings are important, and your healing is possible. So take one step at a time and be gentle with yourself along the way. Seek out support from those who understand what you're going through, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need. Your journey is unique, and it's okay to move at your own pace. Thanks for listening and supporting this podcast. And make sure you're clicking the like and subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Stay safe, be well, and don't forget to be the best version of you.